Yes, or quite caress you, and a sure carrot quine, penny no wire, ye bought quite but two as you, oh, Zoma ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO, what Gina Quenya, baby,
Yamama Trasio, na Yamama ha. Every need 100.9 FM, so say ye back my naswe. Na ene ukwada, sanabus me need to do. Afimpino adiono emienu. Mam say abodon kwapa homiti adiono emienu. Na ene ye si adwade ane je se na ye dapon. Ene dapon ko wie se me menti dwuma dia ye de brem me amedi ho chia me from dakabri ma mudu oshioma. Ai na eye senior co-character what many must say Amansa Chiame, Staff Sergeant Harrison Ford, Kabna Mafu Kabne
Ovenie
Kabne
Ovenie
and Kabra
Over
just said I would say a branch of your friend Kiss Daniel.
Chris Daniel. Yeah, Chris Daniel. Yeah.
Na just say ukuta ni champagne glasses and na champagne glass ni kutano no. And na just on the also Orlando on Sebe.
When I land softly on the sofa floor.
Na benya abude fu a obe land ni boom. Na just ni boom no, it is orthopedic. Na ene eye da ponko wie se miama die nyina
anadai
miama die nyina to moderate to bana na keke di na beka asemi and just one more years Miss Ghana say ayi na afedia dia baba we na or represent Eastern region na afedia dia wa begina wonom oh awrade ababa we mi so mi hu nipa so no tina na afedia aye busa se na ono sesi ano modeling any ade ohu ni san na chese camera dano so na afedia the stage fright achi no
tension
what awrade was it to moderate to moderate you. Was it to moderate?
It is okay with
London. Kabra was it? Asami. Just to moderate to. Was it to moderate to? To moderate to. Was it to moderate to? Asami. Oh, Debbie. Can't this way. What shinani?
One fino cry.
And what ja ablehona gumo.
Okay. To moderate.
I just say modeling and the dear the woman near dear nature say. Ye jama tina kofodium flowers.
What for no what to bro for but pressure and fire.
I send it say stage fright. So no. Na fe dia de bebusa ne de ode modeling e kwa akoye na chese kofodium flowers yi Africa no si two who say ka no ya na engine 10 softly sana na tete two to moderate two what and was it two to moderate two
okay say omo ya Miss Ghana first no na minim bat me mani finwa ya sha Miss Ghana no awura wodi first no edibesi na minim baby a wo ni afra no Mariam Sugiri Bugiri
Mariam Sugiri Bugiri
why
ti asepa ana so madam for no so ni afra na Azuntaba
wono so awini bi wa
Azuntaba
so hono say Azuntaba ya brofilize ne kakra
brofilize dey as a girl so ko se ka biscuit friend Ahuntaba ko se friend Helena baba so baba be ona me hwa Ahuntaba obi ase oni ma Ahuntaba be chi baba say Ahuntaba
wa na bi sha no na wodi first ntina me se me wa no
oh sa ada gitam ko penema
me ni baby a me se ma sha no
ne papa kwa politician as bibi sa Bugri Sugri
Mariama Sugri Bugri. One the defense. Ate.
Miss Ghana. I heard even the name number 9 came from Miss Ghana. I before number 9 from Winina.
On number 9.
Yeah.
And winning.
Our family no contestants number 9.
Contestants number 9.
I
know why.
Contestants
number 9.
Okay.
And not just into a car.
Yeah.
To be a number 9 near not just what you mean say. Frau Neja.
But I think a lot of them don't understand why.
No free enough.
There
be number 9 no I
there be Bugri Sigri.
Mariama Sugri
they know another.
Yeah. None one for pa. Me sauce ya pa dia efe na misha.
Oh, that's what we need here.
Many
we need here a beer and I hunu norma about 4 creatures one who warm.
Wa family and to me shanning na my dia efe.
None about 4 about to say the year pele sacre.
Aye.
Before ba. Aye. Awunwe.
Wa pantem one person obekana asem.
And you want to say the sacre bano. No or prejan good no prejan to go. Aye. Moon by water.
I'll go who way.
There be well ba wa pentem.
Now God knows the way before.
Now be who be for
and the nim next day.
Abna was it 1987, right? It should be 85. Oh, 85. And now, next time, me papa. Now we're testing officer. I will Ufudia. The friend Mr. Paredonko. And now Yasuma me say me mesnena me bimfiri kumasemra na me magiska wono ho. Inti ye ba no a ye kɔ Ufudia no. And na car no bebe say wo eye bunsu krom ho. Eti agri college animu ho. And na wo se yeda. Na ade ye kye a wo mkɔkɔ penipa me ye be ye car ne ye kɔ. Edi agwadifo ma na ye de ntuma akurikure me wana jamhye mu
na yakra
na 85 de na menya akwala asa na somewhere in the region 1819 then so hunu ananti ye ntuma mu saa ana ma me ba ko ka se ona ekono adan ya me team ani kokɔhwɛ ya ɛna onam na ejade titigu saa
physical
se ba
boja
and the Johnny Titigusa him
on like on Nancy.
Them just say, oh, assuming what in say him, and it just a sacred in war peliba. And I, and the Johnny approve to go, and approve to go. And I'm here, bye bye.
And
I say,
I won't anyway. I'll run about
now walk on the Yawintin war.
One will be a cook to me, a walk aquarium, no, and I've been waiting. And one will come on tea, and I will be Batty. Hey, what finance crown? First, pan grass, baby, and I light in here. I assume a drama to her. I don't want to say a yana dumpa bono what here. I will be Pobi. Bojano. I Bojano. I tuna pity na sa
be so jar
the crow one no bojano when you na there be won be that
and this woman so na nkanya asem na nke kan
you say yeah time na be for no omo ye
there be ade na your friend bojano one
na be ye bi ani one ma wa ko school da
but everybody has omo so your more than their bench
abaifo ni illiterate and it no mo ye omo di bone no
abra wa say wo so eja first with the firewood a soldier na a sedani mu one say na aje pa
yes
dani to me bopete
I tell you abidie cry yes abidie ni say
good sa na be ye nsra man yete entina
obia so jawo to one so beti
yes we one say etu na pete entina obrafo nyum bi o say be ye nsra man nsiafo aye dansra ma baten and to me so bibi monse but a tupete now asa aka back na asa bo nesi wo na esebi wo wa be poso
ano ha wani
wo ba a tupete na wasa wachi
I say hunahuna
now ni be
hunahuna obi wo wa o ma kwa ma o mese
Kwama mesene.
Na drobes ya wo mu tika na jo first no. Bisa wo mu. Ebi wa obedu be poso no. Na boja ni si wo.
No si wo.
Ti se wo gina ho.
Ti se wo gina ho.
Ko si se boja ni ko pa cross. What say wo so wa akukudu akokross boja no.
Akokross boja no.
Wo be hu accident e be si.
E ti se omu na boja for do mi no mu we.
Asa kanea so do so no.
Yeah.
Na pamu ma kanea ntino. Nti kanea do so no mo kwa akiri. Kanea do so no mo kwa akiri. Nti kanea nya de pa.
Technology ma be ye ni. Ai ti kanea o si kanea nya de pa.
Kanea nya de pa.
No wa mu pesu.
Ensu
Adakabri o shara na.
I say abna ya describe evil spirit. Ya de esumuna. Because esumuna omu ya aduma.
Na Nyankopon anya spirit.
Yeah.
Nyankopon ka so spirit.
Yeah.
Nyankopon wa huni da.
There.
Oh yes spirit. Enti be.
Asa Nyankopon se kanea ba o kanea ma o. Nyankopon de o ya no ye.
Me che say anaba ifo no so so spirit om so wo fom kakra.
Yeah.
Enti be so kanea mo makọ akiri sa de ya say ha.
Eni e wo fie dundum kanea no mo be ti. No mo metina o.
Abna na say de mu hunu hwe o.
Mu hunu hwe.
Boja. Etumi da ko na say dum. Awurefra na sa asran na abapete ebi o abon say bebi esi no na nkrama ma ededa ne nchen
Yes.
Na ada opemwa
ebi o wa o nso ya beye no abia
nkuma sa na wonam kuro ni mfimfin na dwo a mponche egu onyina no wo se mponche no mo ye de
say wafa wafa ayi
mponche no
wafa sata mo na concert wo ho yako ebi crantel ne concert bi ebi crantel
akuko so kan
ne concert no kura na ne title ya Akwa Isaac wọ́n sẹ́ wọ́n mu ba wọ́n mu the concert board no eti kuromu
tata na ada se si Jatalands so ana se si Smiling Benz no so
amuna petu no wọ́n mi sẹ́ ye kura so wọ́n no boys ne je pass wa o
sa na so wọ́n mo
na kura mo sẹ́ no wọ́n mu di ti kurom enti board no so no ube mu sẹ́ we ofa na bra bi wo ye ho wata buru mwa pa tisu we hu aponte wo be tane butu sisi a nwa no wo buru wo mu no wo bom mwa tai of ya Paul concert ya ye ba wo enna baabi na ensuo bi da ho akua seedo a
nsuo akua seedo a so ka bus London
akua seedo ensuo no ene ye hu se mponte guso no womani yakọ
ese kusie no a ene to aye sa na
kusie a wo pu no aka kra ne ya ben ya pa no se mo abeifo ha na mo beda ene wo twa ku butu se pow enti o twa ne butu na aboa no wansin ye ena ne wansin ko gu nani offer out now nani am say be a train the baby and at the age of that time no be 19
years
of a CCA or 50 something still nani yeah aponche no yeah
ana aponche ba emfaka akra so nkobo no
David
I tell onya bo a wodi ka bebo no wanhwe ubo aponche ba wanhwe obebu nipa to aso
ofa katre adrobes no sa wo ye drobeni now tado cab bomb moa enta wo bebo nipa
ati ana nkanka okosiremu a o se moane de dade da kwan mu osa e moane de ntumo se wan so stia ne mu yi a na de foro wo mo sa gigiri shit
wo drive
abua de pe bia honom enwunu bi akoda na se kota no so aye nwunu e de woda so enti wo no car na ba straight on say and they say kufu adu ahunu do akofa de aba between Otidamanko and the eko bimbila de koyi 168 kilometers Brazilian contractors o ma wie a just be odu bimbila ko mo ye no dual carriage na ye ndi o ma ye no dual carriage na sa kwan e kontintin so sa ntuma se ana nkuma na e wo kwan so no enti aboa no free ho no be da kwan no o se kwan no mu aye nwu no so no enti wo so nam so anadwo na hwe straight route 164 kilometers utwa rima Otidamanko river no pet now they call yendi no you can imagine na aboa de ho a you so steer no modin na de afro no kukurukurukuruku
sa aboa no wudia emwanko na wo yam wo mu
emwanko Hey, I didn't
ebinom shada ebinom wahu se kraman yi wobetumi asave no
and so
wobebɔ no ebi enkokɔ wobebɔ no ebi nyamwa wobebɔ no obi to appointment won consider no sa wo ye obi a saa de no wo ye drobeni wo ta bɔ mpɔnten na wo bɔ nyamwa na ofa me wo kura me mfa no so
what dey
dabi wo for wo me mfa me hu na me baby a wonam no ade pa na wone me woye
say bi okwa obi
dabi wo fa wo say wo wonka kwa wo
wonka kwa
dabi wo wonka kwa wo wonka kwa say ofa wonim say wo betumi ahye obi dam wa be say 5 years na oda so hye wo
no one ne tedem wo
wone ne tedem wo ebi betumi awo kitchen so many years bisase adien na bema wo beka wo
adien na bema wo beka the utia no a ana say oma oye aggressive se bia o threaten no say o feel threatened da and no na dwene ne say o defend no so hono entina na enne ye dapon enne dapon no na eye miama die nyina Mrs. Papa ebono Mrs. Papa
me da se boy me
wa fa wo firi buno ebono kuro be
so sani ani
sentina wo dwo no
ya fra say
sani ani
wo firi sunwan
sunyan kuro mo pe
what do
and friend sani ani
what ya na sani ani it just eye ho na ye dwa so no so hono ti e ho ye dwa so no enti
wa fa no kuro ni nyame anim nie ebono ma wo mo hodwo
but baby so hot mo be bodua
I'm the me fie di ya anyo em de omo tete adwo no mo du fie
ebono fo ma ye wo baby a omo dwo baby te se kira omo ma no edadin baby te se dumase na hima me chia wo omo so ma no edadin ansa na number 2 for no ewu dumase
na hima no mo ma ne nadin
na fe eye utitomua na utwam wo eye nsu atre so hono katahima na hima me chia papa nti kete so kato enso so no na fe wuduru ma de mu ho no mo a awurade memfa ho wo de be gina
wo de be je wo
wo de be je papa wo de be je abna
papa
enne just nyankropon ama afina ko aba na beto no na eye atade so a wahye no color no on say turquoise close to it
yeah
so hono na zebra crossing e da bu mo no so hono enti say e bom pa e ma ati ana
no be bom pa na bibia dia chance ya firu
zebra crossing no enti enne kwabna enne ye abna birthday
wow
enne nessa ye abna free mama me auntie Paulina ona so ne birthday
yeah
so now everybody say na you do something unnatural
yeah
just say utum say neno aba it miss stramu abna free mama pese mu shoto abna mama if we say she's going to do a buga dance
and I'm missing fifty about me cry obi anim so me ni mpanyimfo agugu dam te kwabna maafo any adakabri na ye adwuma ti mi kwa mi ya fo nya oh ma me ukwa be ye say kakra
Hey, Abner. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
ADAKABRI.
Oh, you are just a character.
Oh,
you are just a character.
You bring out the content.
Oh, come on. just such a pointed nose. Oh, come on.
When you're going to contouring.
Some contouring. Sir! Hey! Make a cream.
We the women were learning how to shape shift.
Oh, yeah. Enti buka, udi nipa miensa. Enti mefre, Miss Solomon. Na mako, na mo ye 9. Na mo abeji sika na kutuya. Ense sabi ewo mu bia mo san fama de emreme.
And they pond.
Dabi me mfam. Mo nko na me hunu aduane amachu so me fra da busa no. Na me mfam na mo mfam mema ne nkodi bi.
Dabi ye me asaya ne.
Okay, nya sa de mo nko Rega. Mo chusu between Rega ne Chinese for no. So, eno susu ari.
Yabeko.
Muni mo.
Economy na your tight my cash. What?
Open cash.
Economy na tight.
Over. So could did now birthday I was in best kind
me need.
Sound.
Me because eduane mon
the member 200 cities. Abran ka ko Rega ka make ka be 700
cities. Enye nipa body say ma. Na ka me ko Rega na be 700 na. For 700 ma be.
Ya friend Marjorie ni busa no. What's it say?
It is about me to na bra camera so am saying.
There on the camera don come.
Hey.
Camera come.
Shegege. Pacho men kasa je kra.
Na eye dapon. Camera?
Ofa.
Camera?
Ofa ne.
Eye ekwane a aban Ghana aban. Efa so it treaty eye Ghanaian businesses. So what is a special prosecutor no?
Yeah.
Was say eye company bi.
Yeah.
La Bianca.
Yeah.
It is a tax evasion.
Mama La Bianca.
Mama La Bianca. 1 million cedis.
Yeah.
1 million.
It's Yakwaji.
Yeah.
Abena. This is a question just to find calculator. What you now?
Okay.
And that's my mecca. Yeah, what kind yes, what time will be count with
it?
Just a muti or my way. And in some moody.
Yeah.
Some moody. Abena. John Mahama pensuano. Now would the container 40 footer? Aya akoko sre, akoko atabu. Ni nyina na de ba. Na watua ma na broswa ye 35,000 cedis. Eye duty 35,000.
Ofa o patre say. Do Mahama abreso no.
Na duty no.
Do Mahama abreso no. Na duty ye eden
akoko 40 footer, akoko sre, akoko atabu.
40 footer container no. Na wutua say.
Na wutua 35,000 cedis.
35,000 Ghana cedis.
35,000 Ghana cedis.
For sa container. And then the year.
And then 120,000 cedis.
From 35 to
120,000
120,000 cedis. For 40 feet
more
container.
Than double.
Akoko tabu no. And na special prosecutor no. Or say La Bianca noa. Or can I say no? Say ya teswa man 1 million cedis a ya jine back no. Okra 240 feet containers. It come na bomb me. 200 times 120,000 cedis. Mama me hwe, abna mama me hwe.
Ofa
just a duty I want no.
Mama La Bianca.
Aye.
Ne container no a wode ba no.
Aye.
Yanka kane sa container na
ye 35,000 cedis no.
Sisi anu ye
120,000 cedis.
120,000 cedis. Okay.
31.2 billion.
31.2 billion.
Say.
Okay.
24 million.
24 million.
It
will be a Ghana 24 million cedis, no. And a customs someone 5% discount. Yeah, 1 million. I no. And we have 23 million. Or no, not somebody can you.
Of a 5% could assess.
Yes.
5% no esha.
So what's na me church asem no mu yie no what I say. Na nsem hunu na ekoso no. And na me be ma special prosecutor na dwuma.
Yeah.
Me be ma na dwuma.
Ofa, not just say.
Because a sector no. Onim de ekoso.
Ofa me bo. Not just say the customs for year. It's in the right direction. Say me kura mpa enka 5% no kura say so mu man be 20%.
The wo mu ni say special prosecutor na can say customs for nyuma mu no. Sa de ni wom advance ruling no.
Excellent.
And wom.
Excellent.
On report no.
Yes.
ana waji atumu say nipa na ya kana sem no ekra no 240 fita containers
yes
ana say 40 fita container baako duty 120,000 cedis ana akukwa tabu ni nyina no a ya hye ne ma no so no okoto no broni kurom $60,000 na femi ehwe
there's a duty ni we no
duty no kra so say
nam na wo ba be
me just say me tunu wo
ani ka skanu si over send them ndin kaka
me why no offer ya awura wosam kra wo mu ne say nipa no kokra ne nam no wan kwati scam fra ban wo
da bia etitie
freight ship no ade ba no ono ana etua insurance e wom ono ana etua abedu port wo keke no a okoyie no ya Togo hanom omu ye ni free
port no
Togo
free
port no ya ne ya die no otua sen
120,000
no not to say
na sika no cross wo mo timpo no wo de bobra pank anya hawo
na kwabra unya ntehwe to bas
me tie wa fa kagum
na asema da woni say la bianca no company no oba abesia just under 55 years and wa bobra over 7-year period no and wa build the company no kakra sole proprietorship sa na aye limited liability company and what di no kre adiama broni suppliers partners e wa abrochiri and offer nipa mako 500 Ghana for 500 Ghanaians.
Why
employ
500
Ghanaians. And the duty no cost no.
Wasaki bi.
Na say obesaki omo die. Apply to customs. And more customs amane say. Monte so anya den emfa man.
Eye wo mo nsese no nso mra kwa so.
Enti eye special prosecutor dey kan. Or can send community so man between 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
Duty no.
Yes.
Duty no.
What is allowed?
And now customs is there be 5%.
Hey.
It is 5% near the man no tie. Company be was printers our graphic road ha. Special prosecutor tio. Na ne ubekwa ko investigate wo mu nyina.
Mo ton am no. Na first me say we call regent it na ye ne omo na share
it is special prosecutor we investigate omunya importers best 500 I was so investigate omunyina because we no wo say Frankasari and na be ka kire wo and wa kom akofa we di aba ntimi so me ka bia
kire no
me ka bia cho me we ya na the recording ye the command special prosecutor no ade na ye di $120,000 no 120,000 cedis no aye koto no $60,000 no ye ebimo ye and say okọ no akwaji afri broni no ho na odi aba odi ba na wabeja e de agu port 21 days na demorage ache no ne ye cc na waka kire broni ne say odi ba no wantimi antua enti ye cc a abna at the end $120,000 duty nkwa ye di $60,000 and a toy no 120,000 cedis and ye di duty $60,000 ye di toy no ye see na do dan kwa kufu adue omnanti ye gu Jubilee House
bonne
na wo mo akodi chire na ya auctions ade no 30,000 cedis
krono muti so ayeye
krono
na ya auction na wa bubroni no sa ade no yaje no wabu shipping line no wabu gapoha no wabu customs na ya auction dia mano 30,000 cedis na nipa no a make us a company no Sprinters Road no 8 years John Dramani Mahama any Professor Mills no ono na ye mano sa enhihye we bi na ye adwuma na ye enei special prosecutor say aye sa benchmark value say you reduce no ya mem and for advance ruling no from 2017 besi and nano or be investigated to do a diamond crofo hey what na so pen na so go for special prosecutor on ye di wo ɛna wo nkwala no a wo ma kwagye saa de we asisi adan no e be kyerɛkyerɛ ba bi adan ne sisie
mo
akokoro de ne girlfriend di na atoto me ma girlfriend na claim say ene dia
eno asa me di
ai wa mai sika
ti me ma girlfriend na claim
wa mai sika
wo ma me e wo papa ti ase e wo nua ma ti ase e wo yire ana ade ompna din na ade to so
say bia o de man ma me a ye betumi a link aba ne side na ne di ai ye betumi a link aba ne ho ba ne mpna de entimi link
ti ne mpna no eti wo ni da so sa wo mpna no o sa betra a convey property ne back to you o arehye mu nya sa
na nim kosoro
o sa
ayo man sika nti wamfa
okoya okọ apply December no ye be di bronya no obeyi nipa na die no ene o se dabi e de onko no onko sere nti for a period of 4 months the mom fama me 4 months no na chesenke ena customs se dabi ye de be ma 6 weeks instead of 4 months, they be 6 weeks. Into be enjoy 5% no for 6 weeks based on the volume of a normal when they ban. I'd say what are the other do I entail so?
Yeah.
So what are the other
do? Of course.
Said your talk and turn back on. And your talk and articulate a man. What would you have the same rate?
At all.
If you are the year cano 6 weeks no or enjoy only 2 weeks. I don't know say 1 million na ye ka no 2 weeks pe no e na afede de customs for say ade nkwa ye ja ye nya bi enti afede de aka ne say wo de obekwa akotuatua wa de na wei ene ne ho anim guase ya ye gu obaye o na abena nipa ono de ye man gold card no busa obi o ye adwuma customs bi ye man gold card a e kire say o container no ye mie so container no ye mie so enti se nipa ti enipa abasa edie bia ne hyemu a enam se wo ye gold card holder no ye miye so sa company ne da ho tegana ha sa company ne da ho tegana ha
se sempo ama no net for de o
media men kan sen company da ho te ha o abena company no e da ho te ha
wafa
na gold card ni na chire no ante de enna 2015 2016 say sala bianca yi abena no kreso e wo nyankopon hata so ni unum say eh maame no so mini no
ba asem ne ya wo ya
mini no da the first time unza me betena ha kan na sembi e kan say sika wo de maamo no ama me de millions of dollars bi to so say sika wo de maamo no abena between 2015 and 2016 mensan repeat sika maame ne de ma mo edi just what is ni sika ni jetre what ni jetre abet time achi age power amamo ana mo de power no eye de atena siam yesa de asisi no na we enne Ghanaian company bi anya nipa 500 no be yi o made amoma kofi
yeah
on the do be die say nya den
na more unemployed youth and ubos na refrafs na do so kroma na oni adwuma ye nti no dia no be ye wow
abra free eti asema meka to no birthday for so there birthday for so there abra there happy birthday to Mrs. Paulina Bankro from your original daughter Prima Bankro. God bless you and strengthen you. And I say hey enti abna aba say so 5% na dia manu no enu na competitors ni bi no eye omo ya 5% no.
So they are just trying to get it out of business.
It is some competitors no one more as na engage and connivable with Jubilee boys so no emma woman de ne de na ya den nana wabana
ya caution
ya de ko ba bi a friend UCL
yeah
na
ofa na woni say ebi be sin ne sa one say Canada mo na ye custom commissioner ena ne deputy Joseph Edute
aye
Sadia we ya a farm rahan so yeah. Wouldn't say woman interdicting up till now, young friend.
As I said,
Sassam we won't say of a Sadia we ya tia do Tayabana send him no. Pagana Revenue Authority. Penny Panwa wa dano no.
Special prosecutor say.
One on the Diakradia ya West.
Special prosecutor
West.
Special prosecutor say. Coach ni dia wo ye no e untenable o say Canada moa apparent Tio, where do you see any in the official or say happen? Name Commissioner General there. Onimu fee.
Commissioner General.
Onimu fee. Nanipa. Make us one of the gold card, no. Gold card.
I am the
workers in Roof 50.
And what is the criteria for getting a gold card?
I said, Nini naturally say, as a umudu.
No, it's like criteria. There shouldn't be said maybe all the goods way and above. Oh my God, when this amount of revenue are like so.
Aye. Abna. Omo Emma yebo containers no auction no. Na egu abrofo nanim. Egu Ghana nanim ase wa abrofo nanim. It is a ne ordinary Abraham way koje no ma no a. Yebo no auction na onsi hobie mu fa Abraham way di nko. No the free man bank ko. Na o de kwabena man fo ko. Ti nipa baako no companies mako say 20.
What da?
Nipa baako no companies be say 20.
Ofa okay say report to be told that na omoka omo a eye corrupt power Ghana ha ya omo di post di first ya omo di Jubilee House to so too no
asia no
omo di Jubilee House senti omo di Jubilee House to so no and I am dan so say police for be protest here but Jubilee House di omo
omo ya no protest
ya can say Jubilee House akromfo no metu no obiam protest obia kura njitim because boni a womudi wo ho ne krono ne katasese ne proye ya womudi wo ho no enya asam na wa bu abrofo fa so say ya
bu abrofo fa so
say ya Ofa enkofo the new businessmen.
And what is the difference between money fraud boys and
Abna say the new businessmen no. Omo report wa bra omo bre. Me say last week Ofa
you did no duties. I motivate you omo. I encourage you omo no. Rather no omo there. Me say ko Ghana web. Why you kromfo? Why you say kromfo? But a kromfo pa no there. Ya wo cham so.
Ofa last week me hu obi duty wa hu. Duty no. Ade a wo kraba no otua duty nko a me money di otua duty nko a 90 billion
ade nko no de ba
90 billion
omo pesika so no ma so tiskana ye pa so no ma so no wa wo be ye wo say wo na wo pe business an ko kra no ma de aba no ne de kan nyina ne de ayire
wo ko
aba wo
enti wa mo so mo ntua no na omo be me na go to the demorage na ya auction no na Jubilee boys na san ko GBK fue
yes GBK for no.
Our find is our port no duty no. So omuti so a will it affect
Bisa can we for the tax ka some so for tax collector. Yeah, we sum to enti enko for ka say also to good Ghana businessmen for so egu omaduma no. Asia no.
Expatriates no.
Asia no.
Lebanese for no wo maka ho no. Omo so de yemfa we nya omo.
Dabi.
Dem so omo hwe.
Amanonefo no nka ho.
Gabi omo de omo kan ho.
Wafo say Ghana for ya wo mu ya cement business. Won say business no cement no. Dodo na ya amanonefo. Sa amanonefo cement ni nyina no omo ho to omo. But we are Ghana
ni now so de obeya wo dia.
Mami nkonko ye interview imra.
Ofa koya bra.
Na Jubilee boys any a competitors are omo kase omo nyonko ne president. Omo na edi sanse munin. Ana Jubilee fon wo ma ye ho nsa dan sie kura sisi adan atoto cars akese
ya na wo hwe wo mu ho a obeka se wa mobra
as no mu nyina na
ya kro no wona
big way
wona mo wajani wa
amfo sefa wo president aye chamber of freight and trade na ono onfa customs mra no enka nkire ye se nei Ghanaian entity ekra as in the books and as in the statement of special prosecutor no wakra 240-footer containers of a young cocoa table frozen fish frozen chicken wono or this $60,000 per container now what your duty a year 120,000 per container na wakwa kwaje 5% advance ruling no etiamre bia na when the special prosecutor no waye adwuma pa wase ye boye nsema na na bo agye mo ha
You so far.
Na what is saying?
I'm fine. I'm not talking.
Yo, why ye ntinsem bi ase. Na en mrebi so man be kan say oba bi minni ne ba bia da. Ni photo ne mahu no newspapers mu. Nyame so asem ne meka asem ne hia da na mboa. Na ninsem bi ba bia ma me manage ye mpanimfo bi ma me hunu emmoa saa oba no. Ode bua MPP aban no awo na naboache na ye chairman no. Emmoa de bua wo mo. Timi de ho asem na meka ko wie say and a special prosecutor essay advance ruling ama wa retrieve over 1 million cedis a free no near twe aye company aboso so say we ye kromfo we say na wo hwe say duty $120,000 cedis multiplied by 240 footer containers a thing a bosia wonya ya watimi di akra aye frozen products $60,000 per container a year costa or de eba multiply by 200 no ni dwetre na obabesia wo yes ade we na ye say ya man 5% advance ruling ahunti ya twe no abo so nipa dasania ko report wo ema ye hwehwe mu no utie a special prosecutor or say customs panyini no a wo hwe ye ma 5% no 5% is why ye can no company no enjoy for a period of only 14 days, 2 weeks per year man for 6 weeks. As we within 2 weeks per penny yes and yes abeje ya de. 2 weeks per no enjoy. Then the panini o ma kwan no yes any actions no untenable, unlawful. And na ne panini pa so a won na na o se kan ni ba mu no. Yes won no apparent say ese no nim ho bi. Nemom panyini pa no a won da GRA no ne de onim ho hwe kura nana fa customs act no na asem we no chire mu chire me
Yo, but the kind of so difficult. And that between and around the chamber of free, share a book with the report of the special prosecutor. No, we have the copy, and I can't time the Customs Act 2015 at 891 and you did to talk. You signed for the general manager of Lambian Kanubuta and I said the Chamber of Free and Trade no can't even for any wait for the system on. But the king can't now move. The issue is the release via check that the special prosecutor got it all wrong. And we believe this is a clear case of give a dog a bag and hang it. As a Bokramani bonnet, Yanamso and Tonapo. They internet cancer. Both the company, La Bianca group of companies, and then the custom division of the GRA, Omunye Bonipia, they acted within the remit of the laws of this land. Their actions are all founded in the Customs Act 2015 at 891. Advance, and yet I wow, and it is not only La Bianca group of company and they apply for advance ruling. Every importer, exporter, irrespective of so you can apply for advance ruling. The advance ruling that I could change and say, me, could you mention, me crack a cocoa and I make grand in Triabagana. But the China make grand a boss saying I'm $1. But the Mewusa Ghana custom, the Chia move value $2. Intimate me document, me invoice, me contract document, me BBA account. Had the Bramu say, Namunia investigation, Namu say, I am perfect. Me name you on $1. Customs in Saka application now, by law, they can either decline or approve or vary the value. It's the cost of Saka. No one can tell your movie. So we have additional documents. On my catch yourself. You have documents so at the account. Now, why am I say application or apply the engine to an amami? The customs, yes, I will be winning area. Not much not to war the important. Say, you're coming to a conclusion. Say, okay, I am part of the motor on $1. Then so the cost of loading, cost of container in your market, it's $1.2 instead of $1. The woman thought that no, also this one did also that person who challenge that value now with the amount. And Brahma who finds say sign up to the cost of the challenge the value. And he said, me, could you mention my cramenia? My trying to cost of say any man return $2. But me, when we say more cost of more value $3. The document says $2 now. So in Namibia, we have that's a customs okay. Yes, to me, bounce percentage now, okay, say, and so. Name the better sum between 5% and 10%. Now, me, could you mention, maybe Chiami Dutia, Bonnie Benamai. And the customs law, customs, any Ghana, it is only customs who is mandated for classification and valuation of every cargo that comes into this country or is being exported out of this country. Customs and the one to me, and you may be only back group and you're better classify and a certain harmonized school. If you are the more up to some about which you the company, like the Bianca group of company, and you're one man who value, and you're one that can say, I'm a person here. What can you say now? Because the customs, the best you have to, and that's one thing. Both the customs division of the GRA and then the deputy commissioner of operations, Mr. Ibuche, who is a seasoned custom officer. That man has worked in the industry for a long time. Because I have been in the fruit industry for more than 20 years. I came to meet him. With him, I am embracing 1 year. Get to I there's an impression being created that the company La Bianca is the stock collection that arose from the value difference in value, natures or everyone. It is also wrong. By the Customs Act, you will be a friend of post clearance of it. It's in section 7 of the Act 891. And more customs 2.8 after so what clear one year phone fee. The year customs now why not cut it that be due to this one. If you have a document, now I see that you be signed someone. A Brahma who shaka when not that's why I want. Because the Brana customs the Brana so section 9 actually said, oh clear near my forward customs and will some keep you documents for close to 6 years. And after 6 years, when I don't custom they do time by one because of our documents. And he said, my human MVP. Now customs came up at okay, but looking at reconsideration and other issues, yes, pass about you, there will be a number, maybe to have different things. What's your on your body? Mr. Many the company can be here because coming now customs law now so different. Say, and son, I may turn your money will be able to consider my total cost. The total cost also includes duty paid. Intimate duty na mamodada. Based on this, I be mamono. And I'm calculating the total cost. Me never turn idea no. Will just. My turn idea no be a. We are the better tell me there. Please send me your duty difference. But my minister say, or boomra or pembra. Na on person ebe go car go car. E no go to your it is that injection so factually inaccurate. Nearly also. Along the line, here reading reports that you say somewhere in the report, somewhere stated Mamino used to influence peddling in attaining that approval, which we also think that it is factually inaccurate. How did the speech office even arrive at that decision? Evidence penetrated or you should influence peddling. And if report maybe in one book say custom for the car say maame no nsuo ɛbɛgyina wɔn so and so wɔn pene yɛ no wɔn sɛ value no so anaa maame no bɛka kyerɛ wɔn sɛ hey na mea council of state member nti mo nse so and so wɔn sɛ so bibi asɛ nti woyɛ den na wɔde ne position ɛbɛka edwuma ɛne the lawful and legal remedy customs wey di so ɛgya yɛ wɔn. That is why we think the SP's office got the whole thing wrong, and this is a clear case of give the dog a bad name and hang it. Because per the laws and the rules and all the sections in the Customs Act, Customs Division for Buso, and not and the Deputy Commissioner of Operations, or the exam ran so, or they approving the application applicants nearby.
And Nana, say now be explaining say in the report of the SP no or Jitum say advanced ruling a camp customs of Wajuma Emma Okofa what customs of Wakram Rano say and also a womb, but in the instance here all kind of influence peddling and yeah, say La Bianca, it may be obtaining a yes, sir, advanced ruling. No,
well, now same way, Adabra. So, what just to say, advanced ruling is part of customs procedure. It is part of our law. The World Customs Organization, valuation rules and guidelines. World Customs Organization, Ghana, advanced ruling, Kahumi, WTO arrangement on the trade facilitation and implementation, advanced ruling, Ghana, members of WTO. So it is advanced ruling is not illegal. Advanced ruling is part of the process and processes of our custom procedure when it comes to classification and evaluation. We are then obedient here, influence peddling or deny. I mean that you any partner now target because the people na ama ye bi usi ama je ne de enya hwe na e camera no na me kojo je de even do e camera no no we use me position na me de je and then me na outside so we na let us stick to the rules and the laws of our land. Me always the company owner na gata me no but the general manager a member of the Chamber of Trade and send the Chamber of Trade and Trade. All our interest is in protecting the interest of members in our industry. It is only ideally be one member. Now, or only be the next member.
It's Nana, companies, what was so at for more? OSP no ankasa, Esosa admitted when I say, or import 40-feet containers to the tune of 200. Current rate is also no. 40-feet container duty no 120,000. Ubusamu so e be catch us say frozen product no akokwa table na sefo no $60,000 per 40-foot container. Enti company one kasa wo gi atum say okra 200 containers. Na wo hwe duty da so wo hwe cost or the kokotoy na odiba. Is it out of place? Given what is even in the customs rule, no? Is it out of place? Say, Obeka say, yeah, man, a preferential rate. Anna.
Customs gives concessionary rates and concessionary values every time. And your first time, basically. Near Tosumiru, or you're a huge taxpayer, or you have tax between 6 to 10 million every month on her import. When or importing even a vessel of fish import, they are about 15 million in duties alone every month. And see, on a small player within the industry, even with the OSP report, on one admit that she has about 80% of the market share when it comes to the frozen food industry. And see, if your taxpayer, a large taxpayer like this, applies to your tax collection agency, now Okache must say, even first, the money be a friend of duty research. The only become poor. If money you never need, your chairman, that open between the check with and then because tax revenue mobilization why the guys duty recently. And also and large taxpayers can apply to custom and ask for what we call duty resettling. The duty I will say 20 million. We need 20 million. We want 2 million. We need 2 million. We need minimum. 80 million. More spreading the money 18 months. More spreading the money 20 months. Now we 20 years.
In this instance, most spreading money 6 weeks, otherwise 40 days. In the second week, with such a large taxpayer, are you encouraging and motivating that person to grow the business, Anna?
And looking at the end of your press statement, you can say, you feel that you be indigenous Ghanaian owned companies, because the rice imported, sugar imported, who are Ghanaians, are fizzled out. Lebanese and India for. The importation of computer and computer accessories, a free Ghanaians are putting Indian for. Every time we are killing indigenous Ghanaian businesses that help in raising mobilization for this country. Yes, one safety about that and sister will say.
Because we're here, who should the location of the company. Now I say the location, then the OSP is saying, or you're politically exposed person on the basis, or you're a member of the Council of State, when in fact she represents the people of the Western region. Politics. We decided not to go into because the people elected her. The open source said, when an elected Council of State member. Not to be important. Not to be value of their money is on the high side. I can't challenge it. We can challenge it because it's influence. It's not right. Number two. And yes, obey Council of State members of 13 fish bar woman, not a chicken bar woman. No imported fish and chicken bar woman that had. Now, there was a point even in the OSP report. Now, it was even laughable. There was a company in the operation 2014 was applied to customs that sort of the advanced value. Now, 2017, and no applied. But that is also wrong. So within 2014 to 2017, they are not on important only. And then the agency who was a section of a provision, a customs act, a mahu point, a mahu appealing, another applied to customs. Who can we reference to OSP? Me as a company or no winning a graphic road has a. I was no during the 8 years of the NDC. No used to such a friend say Obakan say a facility yama or no cry your man gold card chess a me in the container so now what was a see but Jana Honoma can say Obia apply during that period in Nintendo or apply in Nedia na ye be a woman say Nana
it's all wrong when I make Mrs. Dana dear. Then we say assemble instead of say you best stick it to fact. We always want to throw in propaganda and play on the emotions of people instead of say a brand. Gold card, customs advance ruling, it is part of our law. So you can't say a free brand because any large taxpayer has the opportunity to apply to customs. Say you be able to examination and say more share the risk management tool and more customs, more employment. Have I, the past 2-3 years, had any sort collection? Have I misrepresented or misdescribed any commodity I bring in? Customs, yes, I have investigation, needs to have valuations, answer issue gold cards for a company. Say, only a money back. Once I had you want to tell me, who didn't know, be about company.
Nana,
that's the same.
Your name, Dennis Amfusifa, or your president, Chamber of Freight and Trade, and Education Como. But Nana's watching Nana Boachiani, the friend. No. Nana, yes, La Bianca, the OSPDA. One no dear was so by your genuine business. Yeah, Trina Boasso. It imagine Sika, what you are, I just your bedroom 1 million. Anya, just a book on the abaji, 1 million. But said, okay, large taxpayer. Na eba obi timide similar freight wodi besi wonom na ojesi wo for 21 days. Na yes ye de ko UCL na yakwako auction. Yeah, auction a dear 120,000 no. They end up it be a 30,000, it be a 25,000. Just government appointees e di akire kwagisa auction ton man crop the gym faso chiri die no. Sa die we say chamber one notice say bibi sa koso whatever.
I tell you, Papa, you report on a daily basis. Last 2 weeks, important be better from the only problem. Wakra, Akokonam, for country. Now, Okra buy on the bank loan and a cry. Obedu, yes, that time, and you try benchmark reduction, I buy my duties every day $1. The estimation now, boss. In the bank, so I sign up loan from. And the above is or by us.
Yes, say.
Ya ton de man and yaman in the fire, and no news in our so.
Ya ton no man de amobi cost ya de ton man ni pakron enu due to na ya so no mra metua no
No news no ma me ni nyana o tia ko pesi na betia no ya ton ne man less than this no three quarters of it. But there was nothing the chamber can also do. We are also putting documents together to custom and copy finance. That attitude of selling or auctioning of containers without recourse to the original importers, even causing revenue shortfall. Because my minister was told 220,000 in duty. Not on container, no 15,000.
They be cry 5,000 cities.
How is that even possible? My minister from or the bank for supply and it can $60,000 times 4 for the car. Oh man.
It's ye ken. Most of the man over to be the Chamber of Freight and Trade say special prosecutor no. Where do you say Francasana be Nabakala Bianca as much? But the year came. Would the special prosecutor want to investigate? Say ampa bibi say koso na elements be a big crowd or Jubilee House war and the church they amasses illegal wealth through some means yana.
Well, according to Kosovo, nobody can even challenge or open the gazetted containers month on month. Let's say the number of gazetted containers, frozen containers, you turn in a month. Numbers I want to tell who are the owners of the containers, number one. Number two, who are the beneficiaries of the auction? Some of the original importers are closing their businesses. Businesses are folding because my time I was able to
meanwhile, baby to say save bond. There's Anyana expatriates and a war and unti ye investigated the equal save bond. Ye can competition. One also every say you chukuni pass mercy every say or said the OSP can 80% of the market share. It's yen chukuno near Munu company. Now you bet me the way abobra achichire economy no am ye ho harrying.
Gradually we are killing indigenous Ghanaian business. Gradually. And after some local or indigenous Ghanaian companies have become targets of state institutions. As the yes, was a Ghana near you, and now the Ghana needs or be a company, no, be and into the gradually, that is how Ghana is. I said, I want
now ye can wakwa normal kwa Jeffrey supplier ho supplier $60,000 you say oh me beton normal na e bia ma me 90-day credit na me meton normal na me for sika enye den emrew wudi beduru ye na demorage and afe ye de akọ UCL and ye akọ auction na ye auction ma will be at that cheaper rate ya ye ken ade 120,000 duty no it me to be ma 15,000 30,000 e bi kura 5,000 e de ama wo over the period no animonyam be na Ghana ye nya every suppliers ye omo Europe and in North America ho.
Gradually it's becoming a problem for genuine importers to even get LC or try to negotiate with suppliers to give them cargo and commodity on credit basis. We try 20%, there might be 90 days to pay the other because insurance companies are advising them not to be dealing with certain companies and certain countries. We are here again, my blacklist.
Yeah, Ken, on Facebook Live, Omar Kwabena, Omar K. Ochre, somewhat ignorant. What's he saying? Stop disgracing Ghana government. Just ADAKABRI no wenya no. ADAKABRI stop disgracing Ghana government. Kwambe so na ignorance. It be play into say ye castigate obi ye demo obi ye didu obi atem in the name of ye protecting Ghana government when in fact onipako or you're ignorant of what actually is going on there. We are president of Chamber of Freight and Trade. Shasema Woka. Asemi to America so babu figures are yani customs mpanifo akasa yani insiders in the trade akasa yani competitors nubi akasa maame no akra so de and ye pe no a yenya no but one will say quite simply on Facebook Live, stop disgracing Ghana government because what would say obi o Jubilee House cash in was sad ye the sisi adan the bi kura kwa ne girlfriend dini we nana say e ba say wo so betena ase abobo say din we ya why your money say me ba be bobo mu dini
over everybody investor my body me the we limit ourselves to the law. Papaya ya boni din say the deputy commissioner of police Mr. Buchen I entry na boso he treat the customs the commissioner, the custom division commissioner, name of the commissioner general is the bearer of all responsibility of everything and every division in GIS on the university. Now, Canada, the born in the Deputy Commissioner, the born in the Semafa Custom Act, not act, the Tsunami. Semafa. The WCO, World Customs Organization, your guidelines and the evaluation. Now, vis-a-vis your brand, but you have to do that again. Some of the WCO and brand, now you have to Ghana and brand with the the ignorance of the okay, and they must have said, be about to be at Robocono. If you understand, you are on Bocono, but they don't know, say, under the customs law, no? Act no matter when in front of put clearance audit. The custom who clear what you do go feel grana o phone. Na in these 3 years that obet me aba back abeka just say that at the end of ma o tu adi to 5 cities. You believe it can also tu adi to 3 cities. It's brand new to cities. Obet you e don't say why. The obet me aka say and now only on obet based on their own law. There are sections and provisions in the law. In some of the times, you best let down for publications. But I said, remember, you can't judge fund. Then we are finding out from experts in the industry. Perform more in seminar better. Almost sure my children. They are not political because at the moment, Ghana votes from a next Labianska group, Yanaba. Yeah, but China was so at the Ama will be our own movie or city baby or any council of state. Yes, you're funny, or no, yes. Then I on snap a bail. And known as the tip of which they said that you recover 1 million CDC. Now I was thinking a year OSP no or country and quantum of duty a de man no a tria ya discount no 1 million citizens no think quantum nature yen of course because okay say what investigating 530 declarations now some collection pay 1 million It's laughable. Upa Busopi or trade industry, man, that's our freight industry. So you come 532 declarations. Not even on each declaration, containers are also 10 and now 2. It means the duty quantum of that 500 is more than a billion. It's more than a billion.
More than a billion what?
Ghana cedis.
It's a billion Ghana cedis. No, what? 1 million. And young some na young is a large taxpayer. Young chuna was say, or your crumfo.
Thank you. What you are if you're looking at the facts, the figures, and scenarios that play out, for us, the Simba, we believe that the special prosecutor got the whole thing wrong, number one, and we strongly believe this is the case of give a dog a bad name and hang it because
I can just say over 500 importers. And then you single out only 1 out of 500 importers or no pay any younger canasem because we're the leader.
Because Obiansu importing your money, Obiansu apply to custom for advanced ruling. Even the one apply for advanced ruling, put custom value near Mawa, who option to accept or even reject value no Yama. The company has done something which is has never been done in Ghana, and I then was perfect remove Nodiaba.
And say a special prosecutor, Adrinia. Now you was say this special prosecutor, you the name Bamana Bayano. You free say yes, corruption and corruption related issues. It immediately.
The special prosecutor can't say, not just never can again. If you are supposed to be corporate, judge about a ruling. The appeal, judge full principle ruling is different. They are not the special prosecutor, I bet you reporter. Now there's a term now watching within the court, and we can't challenge.
It's here can a career say, and they what you are 1 million cedis, also a retrieval, and the action of also. Until a basse, your client downsize your operations. 500 workers and 400 in Concord Nefi. Now 100 per year Jumanoa. Are we going to also laugh or cry or do what? Say, you downgrade your operations, you downsize your operations. Na ye a my phone be a diamond Nefi.
Yeah, boy and president, but you say, oh, yeah, one district, one factory. Now, yeah, you know, now you book ya. And for so said, I'm banning because or employ close to 500 young men and women. That's our okay. The mobile team are also become the Kremlin, but the battle Obianku. I buy and book will be bar on to my boss are very important in the man. It means that the council has unemployment is time possible. Now, any bear 400, a bear unemployed. Any bear 4,000 in man because Bakubia it's not only that the papa the neighbor. It is the cascading effect of woman not almost the papa and the neighbor. Almost every affected.
I feel me and the other side of it is this way. Yaden Dennis Amfosifa, or President Chamber of Freight and Trade, and Aidin Komo, Nina a year large taxpayer. Just a Wakoji advanced custom ruling up to 5%. Na over 539 declarations. Na mu a year just 1 million. Na yaji na yes samrane ye twina boso where your council of state member nti or a member of the board of Kapo Hanti when yenti said why you be edano a home common na ye twen said do we protect Ghanaian businesses with low duties and now say do we enforce and shame Ghanaian businesses because Oma apply for what legitimately remains in the books of customs and Tieba Kwen Yabewa Neka say on Facebook Live or saying, isn't it sad that we worry about the duties payable or paid over importing poultry? Couldn't the same emotions be drummed up in favor of growing our own? Let the importer invest in local poultry farming and she will not have to worry about duties. That's my work quite simply. Say, Obian Kasasani na bossroom, now what the Ekodidra, now what pen foreign partners, na Momfa no man, me bebe tonwa, na Metriamoka, na watimi aye ne kakra since 2014 ya ye ken na ne company na ye kese no ya ba wase senka opɛ saa abosia no ade ba ye poultry farm odwo so besia ase eye bi wo na eye bi wo mankranso a enanka iye dua nkokɔ no wa ha sɛde buache papa akokɔ da ako eye ya enka duty sem bi ama na wadawru mu government na mfa taku amfa ama no ene wono atimi a building the business aduru ba bi odure no na government wadi sika man crofo so mko poultry farm awa Ghana ha
Well, aban more obvious just don't support it. Obekaya, I think that some of the time education is very important. Aban push the brass, yabema quota of a number of investment for Tabakuma. Na Yakana, Yama, indigenous Ghanaians, or Monia Kopono, Oma produce Amaya. The indigenous market could not meet up the quota that was enough for that it's also important for them to buy. Also, called the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, you have permit, especially when it comes to living fish. Also, about permit. Make sure the tonnage you are allowed and access it is agreed to be the above. And along the line, near Kaya or Ghana for and I said the local market, it produces to show up the difference. If they are buying a hand of 10 years, they are missing them. Now, do a very important. It is not a crime. Say, they are Ghana. Now, there's an opportunity in the frozen food market, and I say, poultry market, no, Ghana is producing enough locally to meet the demand. Not the may or a Quenya Missina, Bobosia, Yamako Krabi, Abba, show up or meet up demand. Oh, yeah, Bonnie. Oh, yeah, Bonnie. You're here for a motion of Bosie. Or for Bobusian or the or the could be a poultry farm or a Joshua and I say, Pantia Corbia. And I buy the Yababi, a quite fast to cry now, taking and cook on a bar. And it's a problem about that.
Tinikra, the crack, Nana. Again, Ubesu say, Yenye, and from protecting and motivating and encouraging Ghanaian indigenous businesses.
And last 2 years, the Chamber of Trade, the people be command the Ministry of Finance. As someone said, we have seen that during COVID, early post-COVID, among companies either can sit down the size of production, the number of containers they import, because you see, freight rate around the world has increased to more than 1,000, some instances 2,000%. If the container and a coffee China freight here by 1,200, some are paying $13,000, $12,000. And if you can win in a moment, the toll of the indigenous Ghanaian companies, a ma Bibrinan Casampo Afubia, Kakrana Akam, then try to by giving them concessionary duty rate, a concessionary value. Because the more, and I said, I'm putting a crane, and I say, importing your money back. And I buy so it's name of the one of a Fenina. Now, I didn't know, maybe nobody was in here, but the same Bakupeno means 10,000. What have the car member? Coupled with the current pressure on the CD against the dollar, $800 and young funny where you remember the indigenous Ghanaian companies, the importers, and government hasn't come back to us. And we have a big one. And we put it because it is grounded in law. About Ghana Customs Act at 2015-891, Section 12. Google it and look at it and read it so that you know that the company did no wrong and Customs Division and the Deputy Commissioner also did wrong. They said within the confines officials for Ghana says influence peddling, no, it's factually inaccurate. The conclusion there, there were corruption and other corruption related offenses, no, so it's factually inaccurate. That's it.
It's here now, you newspapers name that there is it here. Na yanya bibia yade atom. Today's edition of the Informer also saying quite unfortunate Nana Boachi Denis Samfo President Chamber of Freight and Trade and also in the studios Opening Buckman teacher Buckman also Wabedru Ufrigwe na also Baba ne politics teacher Buckman yamwatras you oh okay. Informer say hunyanyim us sack La Bianca from Council of State Western Region demands and command na Boachi reason etia the publisher also resign or get fired pressure mounts on Council of State member fingered in acts of corruption and ordered to return over 1 million to the state and Ozabi ABC News also La Bianca company cops out illicit 1 million cedis. And Eric can say me, urban day, typically Ghanaian businesses, 539 declarations. Etin and watching Nas American. Na, I say, I have a waitress, I have a now there 1 million cedis beer. Ya Wayne Triano on Fambra based on customs of woman 5% advance ruling. Na or amount to that figure. Na bana babeji uska. On any newspaper headlines there. Does it may fall in line with protecting Ghanaian businesses, ensuring the businesses are assisted into compliance? I'll comment to be over.
I can't can you there. Mijimizi there.
Okay, Nana Bwachiwaba. Na yamfa newspaper headlines no young fan reconcile. Nana yet was say yes I can't be him. Tini busa say newspaper headlines see ABC News. La Bianca company cops out one illicit 1 million cedis. The publisher resign or get fired. Pressure mounts on Council of State member fingered in acts of corruption and ordered to return over 1 million to the state. And then Informer sack La Bianca from Council of State. And ye busa state agencies, one more honor say on assist Ghanaian businesses and now businesses here in Ghana on assist to into compliance. And now say yes, yentity woman and they can na newspapers so do mo ababeji. Nana, they never can find
the newspaper headlines because of the factual inaccuracies and what is reported and no they can want it. And tag the Council of State members. Me and beginning asking you. The President of the Republic was asking you because I know that the position is electable. And that newspaper headlines, and so they are feeding on factual inaccuracy, humanity from the OSC report. And for them, I don't have anything to say to them. But I believe that gradually we are collapsing the indigenous Ghanaian businesses. Every indigenous Ghanaian company they are found because there's something to create that companies now. Instead of that, I buy a Ghana for the boat yet the young buyer. Now you're so crowned to get your they say you're Uchu chane na mwenye na wase lejumani kwa kai wuse the brenance na baba teki ya wuni fine. And I believe strongly that all the newspaper headlines, no, they are factually based on the one also ethical all kind of way.
Which is a Herald and actually also customs boss indicted in top MPP financiers tax evasion case. Obia customs legitimately amano advanced ruling. Amman had this kind of 5%. Now, subsequently, OSP say there be Yansan Konkwa Jimra. Can it be termed a tax evasion case?
It's not even a tax evasion, neither is it even a tax avoidance. Because the case does not fall within that two elements. tax evasion is something that's and in the whole and I'm going to tax avoidance here. One gets out the brano and I avoid not see. And a way is a different thing altogether. And yes, the man can say, and Brani says, make me actual about the custom that be linked down. Actually, say, tell me, a man, the crab value weight and a method and a custom valuation. There are 6 methods of valuation. The first method is what we call the transactional value price. Transactional value price, and on a WTO, World Customs Organization, and even Ghana Customs, and no, the first point of call is the evaluation. Transactional value price, you say, at the end of our turn, send your shop, and I also first one, a board saying our turn, that one, and only the way to give mom. And if you on your
Yabada was na Saku be a elected in the as oh mother. Okay, Nana, you was a bar and I mean, right. A year, Dennis Amphosiva, a president, Chamber of Freight and Trade, and I can protecting and encouraging and motivating Ghanaian indigenous businesses. E.G. Buckman, who comment on it? Protecting, encouraging, motivating indigenous Ghanaian businesses.
Yeah, don't know here, pa. Since in there, Ghanaian businesses, when they make profit, the profit stay in the country. And see, there's no repatriation of profit to be outside. One of the problems here is the foreign companies, when you scan out, that is why today we are having challenges with our city. And it's Ghana for be wabon wasn't watch you maybe asking a warrior and so ruko Majimzi there say yamon I won't haraka crowd on age monuma or I'm just thinking there. Now if this business should collapse, if the woman decides that okay, I'm going to discontinue this business, what it means is that apart from one or engagement, tax was sky or no super every month be scheduled to your all those money be abundance and can be. And so being here there, painful is that down here, yes, it is a precon. It is was scheduled to a very significant. I mean, this is some of these issues, or to have a contribute no resolve without making it like she's a criminal. For me, it is not the best. It is not the best.
Sikana utiano. Or a criminal, and Wajana, you man or copper and baby try. Bosumi be Abenya says can be.
Yes, cano. Now, one star here. Now, one star, a Juman, and offer winning in us or Babbitt Nephew. Into some of these things, you see, if you're tax net, sorry, a Jumea, as much as I yesterday in your school, a money, tax net, so Ochi Ghana, although also not too much foreigner. But information we have in there, some of the foreigners, would your tax net in the but young Koyan. Ghana phones are almost in Bibiano net in each one.
Na Ghana ni wakwa no ma diaba okra no ma ba no na dollar no e fluctuating no na sika so tua no akosoro ndu odimre ka san akọ bank akọpe top up no e de ababeka ho no obaye na ya ton na ade no eye 1/3 ya ton 1/4 of the amount due to no say otua. Such a system in the country.
I mean, how can you have such a system? And those operating this system, they are still at post. I mean, some of these things are issues as you can't.
I mean, 120,000. At the end also no, you turn $60,000. Shipping cost. Any BBA who due to 120,000. When within 21 days, when now what at the end 5,000. 15,000, 30,000.
Not Yanso me there. And due to that, so a 10 cities are. That's when you turn as in 10 cities. Because it's 10 cities in tea. 10 cities in tea. As in a cotton. Now, why the 10 cities in tea, cotton as in a turn less than 10 cities? I mean, does it make sense? It doesn't make sense one bit. It doesn't make sense because as in when you're 10 cities in tea, that's okay, and you're 10 cities in 20. As in a motor. Now, my recover would 10 cities already as a duty, Now, Marathon less than 10 cities, which is the duty I may expect. So why there? I'm a woman, when trade them scan actually am obi when trade them scan no one fa ne nzama no one fa no business do no when go no business
etini boni ya waya ne say wakwaje bank loans okokra no ma bagana beton.
Some of these things
how many of such Ghanaian indigenous business men and women and a ye ku with sa outrageous policies.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a policy, let the policy cut across. Obi biara mbra shouldn't have any discrimination. But if unless some people are able to navigate their way through to avoid paying some kind of taxes, and that's a person when you now were sabi expatriates or yabrofo. Na mo mi ankasa local people no say ochede wa wo krom so no na wo inya wo hakra bia wo oya wo edwumam na azin for me such issues no also that yes na e kan wasem na ye because oben na ma ye mboa if you allow them to make money and send them to their countries, still we're going to have pressure on our foreign currencies, and the city will continue to depreciate.
Ghana and yetimi Ebu Backman and Yenene Babi Dinkomo. We are in the banana market. You're going to sell bananas, and then let's see whether you can buy the banana. Baby Abner.
Hi, ADAKABRI.
Come on.
How you doing?
Come on, I'm doing great.
Okay.
I'm fantastic.
Okay.
You're such a beauty.
Oh, thank you.
Come on,
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank
come
you.
on.
Thank you.
And then you have such, we can say, asphalted face.
I need the whole.
I need the whole papa.
Oh,
Yopo.
thank you. Thank you.
Yopo. I don't know what's wrong.
ADAKABRI, where dear, and that dear son Adame Yano. A man and man, me bamamu, Kulu Ghana Limited, and asuma me. I na yen right, the bremui. A bini Araba Bazen pills. And now Mr. Q. Araba Bazen no. Sena debia mekano no. Oba ubu unsa eche de ya stabil. Moje bebano. No. That is not the way it's supposed to be. Heavy bleeding, you need Araba Bazen pills. Moments is no so raw powder. Yent means na them has say take offensive smell. You need Araba Bazen. Oba de na chese with 40 and above. You can't enjoy bedroom pleasure and access sex. It is not supposed to be so. And it is for all ages. Until we your banner say what was media me should nearly be do me and I mean say and yes sister you need Araba Bazen ebeboa and a month we women's is next month embasa women's na ni would hide and seek you need Araba Bazen and na so bu ani de na twa e 3 months ni e ma obi kra de afe Araba Bazen say wonum na wo ebeto na Kulu Ghana Limited yes so wo Mr. Q the son American no a member bi kojo to obi wo ayare ene ade ntinu the last time na ade no sorry and won't mean kai ade se bi adayim but no pa physical say and I say bi wo so obi wo ane de no sorry once in a blue moon etie ne da e be so not offend you say Araba I saw your breast see her yes I sat ko dia ade say next year no emwa obeba o say oh kofi papa chan me di ndo misi so obeba na de na dwo o say me ka che o say bedu kaka ona bra eno na enya sa be ma so de e wo say all day all time all weather ejina so ma it is a wunya Mr. Kiwa ebeboa I king tablet so wow hypertension and now say high blood pressure when you pressure so what that ko na team you need king tablet Unchu capsules and mema wow prostate problem prostate problems and I say who are urinary disorder who Josa about dash something be wonder what no ujira ojo so back na ba show adey when na yare bra na ye beboa wa wo pe bi atodo location ye East Legon a Champon Junction opo mo number so 0244 139 176 0244 139 176 and na 0204 139 176 0204 139 176 and na 0274 139 176 0274 139 176 leading pharmacy shops e wo Ghana nyina any herbal and chemical shops na wo pe araba baze ana hunchu ana Mr. Q ana king tablet okokwa wo benya bi ADAKABRI
pretty.
Thank you very much.
Pretty.
Yeah.
I say I'm from outside. Where are you from? I'm from outside.
And I'm from abroad.
I'm from abroad. You know, I say outside where? I say
catch it. Listen in here. Hey, now Becca. Yeah, John to mommy and sa duku potomanto. This way chocolate drink. Na can watch shit. Afibian suberi ni wawarenia. This way chocolate drink. Na can siya. Oh, aso. Udan kwanu to mo ho. Me be mo anu we share kwa dia ka ho. U ha dia wapi ho. O ka sa batete. E da fom won. This way chocolate drink.
Crash up a baba wari.
Aso.
Ye fear say this way chocolate drink ya sorry no pa no ne yenom. Ye be chef fridge nom no se snack. Ye nya hoho anu ne de serve wo mo. Ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink ne yenom. And this way no ti anu a. He se kire wom, koko wom, brick wom, bibia wom. Ade wo hia ne so se.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so se.
FDA ahwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime.
Use natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
NIT 100.9 FM sunni na ene Wednesday August 10 2022 just about 3 minutes past 3 you move into the banana market HE George Boateng ono na o yes NDC for man kwan on challenge John Dramani Mahama o yeah na ya man kwan ko be beaten hands down na wa ye nyuma bi su kakra ewo temaport na osin someone ye kan efa La Bianca obi be accuse no say tax evasion and tax avoidance no or ho kakra eka echi George Boateng mo ha
ADAKABRI report me den super
present enkoma ye die no o chefa wo mu ne sen
ADAKABRI mo ka se na me tise mo se ma me no Miss La Bianca why invade tax obi officially what wrong letter come back custom it's a custom administration policy on invade tax here and special prosecutor on ya the BIA eduma no here omo me use investigation on back on here complain Emma custom sir
I say Frank Asari bi na ye complain man
or here complain or what you complain or customs
and I say documentation La Bianca de buy no essentially and no na ohwe mo rely on and we interview managing director of La Bianca and we interview company no owner of the company and we interview Colonel Damwa Customs Division and the deputy Duche we interview omo away and or they arrive at conclusions out there bay
ADAKABRI me see special prosecutor onye media here eduma papa o hono a was special prosecutor okore me got what me boy nsimu man because before 2016 corruption assembly be by kan aso photos Wyoming etc ye did Paul President Mahama oba ye no President Akufo-Addo appointing the Chombe special prosecutor no the man why for family man the man why we go in market am I movie and we should trust our president we say the president cannot fight corruption when you ma obakwa koya we the friend tomato state obakwa koya obaka say why you argument yambo na baso me God was me mo na baso da and then what da because this is what we tomato state ADAKABRI remember so yako custom formality during the PNDC law 330 custom management law amendment is about act no the commissioner of customs have power and discretion to use a commissioner value custom management for the collaboration or apply official and or the custom management. Deputy Commissioner I interdicted immediately I am for the President. So one year me campaign pass serious at you. Me campaign serious because when we have to move Ghana for a couple of no my establishing money. I'm not for Ghanaian workers. You go with money sorry I said me no my now what get the president here so many way a day and now customs solve formalities here or money never one year ADAKABRI the being one in the way somewhere your harmonized phone we use harmonized phone the WTO free liberalization trade value overcast yati value ni so many timo what's up akose ukwa di insist na edasono and need na maame no ne very agent no wanya de so obi oye storm pa na special prosecutor continue manage of the defense coming down eti maame no ni agent no na won sisa no ni agent ni custom law only custom formality we have classification, and we have value. And we have formalities of amendment of applying for reduction of value. You get them, oh, ADAKABRI, oh, cast name the fee to go bano. Oh, cast name fee to go bano. When we saw the bar, now you know temporary application. Now, over no more 90 days as ECOWAS custom formalities trade policy. Now, over the 90 days this year. Now, on person will be be now. Over apply electronic commission of customs. Say, person into home consumption. Home consumption. There's one person who use organ. One person will go back to Togo. Now, yeah, commissioner no power say. Obama, Obeti, can value for amount. Obama, no more of a year when you shoot out of Ghana. No idea. What value into every problem with 50%. Yeah, tissue. If you can't even work from the particularly, I say, OJ, and Susanna, Commissioner at Mitchell. ADAKABRI. It is special prosecutor and Kasama who live in Cuba. More for Mr. President. We treasure special prosecutor who live in my or sacking immediately. This is a boa. Perhaps cases are a person of fighting. I knew child, they are offering a the agents and clearing agents, only custom formalities. So, the custom formalities are like special prosecutor, no? All kinds of for balance and or the balance in the command. And you're right. Or in the taxi, assembly coming now, or in the taxi, I feel so many informant. And yeah, say, my men resign. But the best why you can't touch invasion. What you know, Matuma, ADAKABRI himself, yes, Agumano.
I'm a Yaman.
What is a national, chairman of National Revenue Watch? Are you protecting government revenue? And the man you go to a money, the man of Kukwado.
I hear Bedia Koso, Joseph Bedia Kosuguso. I want to say,
what you said, my President, when you cut prayer, you try to open, you catch up. Yeah, boy, your mind. Yeah, boy, your mind. Yeah, too many years. She can't one and say, Yaman, yeah, now today, miscellaneous account of Bank of Ghana. Then the commissioner will decide, okay, let's give you 60% of the payment, excess now was not Bank of Ghana, it's your account. And to money, yeah, do not buy your mind. You can become free. Are you free of charge for our nation? Because in particular, my of course, Cristiano, young or mine, because on my way, you buy agriculture products. And now, you see, no one say, yeah, economic in a greater dollar, a better. A buffer. Put him some for the BB buyer internal non-traditional export commodity. Your 824. Who the normally call for $1 no, they are returning the Bank of Ghana. No, $1 the Bank of Ghana more. And then that non-traditional commodity export okay. I'm facing on my export promotion council. On promotion of no basic more poultry family. You bet where you're going to break here.
Doma area, Honum.
Doma area, you see, Uba Airport, Uba is a country bedroom, or the chief in Academy. Almost to be on the reality, who does it? If you are 2010, nobody for Doma. Almost supply the Kwabijayo. In Kokoni, Abidjan Airport, and Sotombo. All right. The government, Minister of Agri, the whole cabinet minister, move out the way and the government policy home. Now, I go to and venture a tuma.
Okay, Uncle George, me fancy ya. Na you move on. But you be more opportunity. Na kwani be paswa, you be motivating and encourage Ghanaian indigenous businesses. Why?
You want to be
yes. Yes. As we move here na ontimi enye nadwuma. Ya na nyina anya no a eye kwadwoda moa na ye pe no kwadwo. I say apparent tacit approval from kwadwoda moa. Yes, apparent tacit. There's a case to the say kwadwoda moa wa ye bone akan. Now use the word apparent. We use tacit. Kwadwo nie onu andi o. Kwadwoda moa andi. Now we go to the banana market. And in the banana market, you have apple, then you have the bananas. And you know, when you are in the monkey sanctuary, they also say,
Need FM
studio say na adus makwadu enti in the monkey sanctuary and that on the baby do obroja and the search na we baby twem or your writer and or your poet ni nyina ewom Ebo backman will say, Kwadua no bedie. Amali basi wano so di aja bayiram pesi ya no die. Ebo backman so say, Kwadua no pe. Right, it's Ebo Backman, and also one of the Kwadua no pe selling bananas or apples in a monkey sanctuary. Which way out? He's a poet and he's a writer. And I'll say a little advice for the MPP at 30. Mapa, Yamwatanasi.
Yenia.
Yo. A little advice to the MPP at 30. Why that advice in the public?
Adakabre. Me Jimmy there, yabada nyamiase there. Oh yeah, yan party MPP. Yes, 30 years. 1992 na yazi party boboaze. Na yazi party boboaze no 30 years na yawomi. 30 years so chede. Nzema pia akodo. Nji sama aba, awreho sama aba. Nkugu aba, nkunyimza aba. Ochede nzema pia si within this 30 years. Nti say yes 30 years oben here there as a party no ebe take stock. Na ya hwe over the 30 years no ma ya ye ni ye ma ya ye ni ye ma ye ni ye no ya be ni ya be mo we gina na mpo ba konanyim na ma ya ye ni so ya be hwe na ye fi akonam na asin ya mo wensi bio a lot of mistakes over the 30 years akodo, a lot of good things over the 30 years akodo. Nti I am saying that 30 years here yawomi, especially with the new executives in place, obey here because we are party of history and party of tradition. We can't get our history wrong and get our tradition wrong. And so obey here there. Yaba share young party no ozikan. In the article that I wrote, I mentioned Nzama Kakrebia, me feel the same penyifuno. So was he a Juma Bobwa? And I would not in order as I presented in the article, but the first one I want to talk about is the issue of justice and fairness. Justice and fairness. When I mentioned the issue of justice and fairness, I try not to be emotional because I have experienced a situation where injustice was meted out to me as a party member. And in Penifose, there wasn't ya 1 year done. Men, you know, no offend you be. And also, so was it your business, you know, can want some or send them was it ya no 1 year there. Inti the issue of fairness and justice. Adakabre, I want to cite an example. And sometimes I hear in Confibia Wakan some about MPP 2008, why we lost the elections. They leave out one important reason why we lost the elections. And that is what I want to put it on record. So that one of our free, they dare not repeat the same mistake. 2008. 2007, primary sin war, Legon. Some of us openly supported one candidate. Now, candidate, Ozi Nkugu, we mean. In fact, Odu baby, now no Jim there, opinion, money opinions, I will call. Here, you know, as a share campaign, no more. But in here now, and a year for parliamentary primaries in our various constituency. I was going for primaries in Cape Coast constituency. That time the Cape Coast or one constituency.
2004.
Yes. No, 2012.
2012.
Yeah, so 2008 is what I'm talking about. Now, I was the youth organizer of the party. I was the presiding member of the assembly. 2004, Honorable Kisinchecha, I contest primaries. What's he may lose by 16 votes. What's he may lose because even when the results were being counted, they didn't allow Obian agent, we will say I have lost by 16 votes. I accepted and admitted it because a party no kunenyim. Now, fast forward 2008, when everybody thought, this young man has done so well for the party. One man come contest, Uncle there Momo be contesting. My one man come contest because he was, as at that time, I was still the youth organizer of the party. I was the presiding member of the assembly. Yet I was disqualified. And the one thing about disqualification you there, when I was disqualified, nobody told me why I was disqualified. In fact, Friday night, no one announced there. Obaya Cape Coast Prime Minister Sunday morning. Because they felt there, court. Because there was no reason why. I've not been told why
you have been disqualified.
And what mention names in our contest? My name was not in. And what happened in there? Sunday morning, no way primaries, you know. So that you cannot go to court. And eventually what happened was that NPP lost that seat.
Machinations.
Not only that, their presidential vote also fell significantly above from cry because of protest votes. Anyway, if there had been fairness, and I want to take you back to 2004, what something President Kufuor did. I want you to listen. 2004, primaries, I was going to win, hands down. President Kufuor invited me on office to talk to me because pressure from women group, because Honorable Christine Checha, pressure from women group Kufuor there, when you can step down. Now, the BNI report to President Kufuor's office was that me step down, the party will lose the seat. So, we can lose. So then, we can win. Okay, then me step down, so there will be a problem. So what President Kufuor did, he himself said this. 2008, when I was disqualified at a meeting, he said this. What the young man won 2004, but we found a way to let the woman go because of the unity of the party.
Woman go, no, so woman go away, you know. After 2004, 2005, the woman virtually, as you Kufuor Kwasia, Ewolego, and block.
I know the
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm found.
And see, what President Kufuor in there? Omamukra primaries, you know. When they were counting the votes, 2004, major and call. So, strategy they used was to let me go and lose, so that my supporters will not be angry. Into mo cry no lose, it be full by, but we were able to patch up because mo cry no lose. Yes, but 2008, I was disqualified for no reason. In fact, the letter of my disqualification came after the primary. So this is the point. This is the point I'm making. That these executives, the new executives, as much as possible, they should avoid the issue of injustice and unfairness. Obiala, per the party constitution, or qualified or primaries. One on Monko. Disqualification last election, 2020 elections. The same issue only loses so many seats. In fact, let me tell you, 14 of us were disqualified in the 2008. Now, when we were disqualified, there was a meeting in Castle. All the high-powered, in fact, MPP for those that time, Mr. Tedem was at the meeting. Late Alajete was at the meeting. So those Sachs was at the meeting. Antama Buzia was at the meeting. And now Uku was at the meeting. Mr. Kojon Penny was the secretary to the meeting. President Kufuor himself was the chairman of the meeting. The current president, who was then the candidate, Nana Akufo-Addo, was also there. And Mr. Peter McMahon was there. The decision was that the information that had come to President Kufuor's desk is that number 14 governor was disqualified. So one contest prime minister bio. I did a the party will lose those seats, possibly. So that was why the meeting was called. And it was agreed that 1 year elections in the bio. One of the people was my financier. So he called me 1 a.m. there. Buckman, the decision has been taken, all of us, including the then candidate, all of us, the 1 year meetings in the bio. 1 year primaries in the bio. Until Brakram Ponabaji support, not for support all primaries. And then I had a call from then the candidate special assistant. It is now Mr. Obri.
And Nanobri. Dukrum.
Yes, that Mumbra. Namumbeshia, then the candidate. So number 16, Rage, opposite electoral commission. Mukeshia, then the candidate. There is in common. I told him what I needed to tell him. Eventually, decision that was taken was and we lost so many of those 14 seats, including Cape Coast and Time. In fact, Shaba was out of anger. Shaba was independent, and he won. Others lost. We lost so many of those 14 seats. This is what happened. There too about 2008. First round, MPP led the elections. Now do you 49.3% or so. Professor Late, Professor Musunya 47 point something. But that time, NDC had won majority in parliament because of our mistakes. Into going to the second round, the Ghanaians felt today, if they have won majority, why don't we give them? Yes, the presidency, and that cost us so much. So that's why I'm saying that this time round, moving forward, mistakes we see in the past, we should avoid them. Fairness, justice, provided the person qualifies by the definition of the Constitution.
Provisions of the Constitution.
Yes, provision of the Constitution. If the person says there, Constitution is there, by definition, we are qualifying you, be a day, where's the 18 years and above, and that's why a day, one law no monko. That's the first thing I want to entreat the new executives to do. The second one is as also stated in the article. On there, the ownership of the party, your party no random on any polling station for no. Only one over from or your grassroots for no one party no random. But
I see a hint for
yes. If you have a sense of the ownership of their party or yenza, they will equally have sense of responsibility. Nemom, yama, or they say, in can one what's in craning the party one say, the general secretary Kasa, Obian Kebi, the chairman Kasa, Obian Kebi, as some name the ho. You know what done anymore because Nipokono of a polling station and also of just a constituency be. The will end up weakening the party or your grassroots one. It's a message there. One man the ownership of the party, one man all remain at the grassroots. Let the people have sense of responsibility and sense of ownership. So that we know why you're here because the party is somehow weak at the grassroots. Let's face it, unless it's in but they be a conform pa. And we can form or your party, even if you speak to one of our executives or your polling station executives, they are complaining. I'm saying that the new executive must have support program, deliberate one, not just say it, make sure it happens there. At least polling station executives now will sacrifice one who was in my party. Let's have support program for them. I don't know how they are going to do it, but they should begin to think of how to help them, support them. Some of them are even doctors and all that. But genuinely, no one support program for those people or another issue. Then another issue I also raised in there.
Yane a Bo Backman or a writer or a poet. Enna Yaneno Etrin Enkomo. Now he had a little advice for the MPP at 30. Enimu enchire no debano. Thereafter, a year going forward, the way our MPP for no, Ombasan to two monoma, and then also was another one, was a day abba. And also, was my humble advice to the MPP delegates on the back of National Nasara coordinators failed coup d'etat. And into advice to the MPP, new executive, and then we go to the advice to delegates. A year failed coup d'etat. No. Mr. Backman.
Yeah, ADAKABRI, another issue of our party on you there. Obi wa hwa want na constituency bi. Until ho on bobra. Maybe nature if you ho. Maybe nna bi fi ho na maami bi fi ho. But the want na kro no mu. So time so there why parliamentary primaries and then parliamentary elections are. Now we can adopt the constituency.
No, nature.
Then the person begins to spend money. What bro party no wants to qualify because when you see what happens is that why ye juma my ikrom of wunyim one what can one day or ye gwenyiba and also or ye juma kunyiba and also baby no the man for when you see obi a wants the krom okra no oba no ziniska or ze bulldoze in way no when win the primary no because only connection with the constituency okwa no we could lose elections. Now the point I'm making is that the party must have one wasn't say if it's going to be constitutional amendment or whatever however they're going to do it. Obi biala obi gina constituency biano. Although at least or spend a certain number of years in the constituency.
Must have.
Yes. So that if because so if you don't have the relationship with the people, how do you expect them to vote for you? Elections are a 70% relationship, 30% money. So if you want to use money 100%, when you don't have the relationship, you always lose an election. So we should rather encourage people now, one from now, one should have you know. It could be a boy, somebody may be popular in an area, but Oniska. The party must, because at the end of the day, you're sitting. If the person is knowledgeable, that's the party must find a way to support the person. At least you are not cheating for the person, but you are supporting the person to be able to compete.
Encouraging and motivating the person.
I'm a second winner. It will be good for the party. Only another issue, sir. We raising war or
advice to
the constituency executives. Because I've noticed something. You see, the new executive they've had their first test. Which is what Chairman Wuntumi did. It was deliberate. On Wanyel Kake, he was testing the waters. Because over the years, they've been doing all these things. Obian Kamoshi, a new sheriff is in town. Why don't you test his pulse and see there, Obakaden? So what he did was deliberate. Because on him there, as executive member of the party, he's not supposed to come out openly to support any candidate. He knows it. So why did he do that? Oh, yeah, deliberate. And I'm happy the new general secretary, and I salute him for that, was quick to come in and set the record straight. That if you are a party executive member, don't openly support any candidate. Any other person can do it, but not you.
What? Any other person meaning who is that any other person?
Any party member who is not an executive member of the party.
That is your understanding.
Yeah, because if...
But 2020 guidelines, have you read it?
Yes, no, 2020 guidelines, or exclude, what's in there? Party executive.
Have you read it?
I've read it.
Would you want to read it again?
Okay, maybe I'll have to read it.
It does not talk about only the party executive.
No, sorry. Other, for example, MPs, party executives, if you're a member of the Council of Elders.
Did you see party supporters?
Party supporters?
Yes.
No, when the AE is not open.
So now the next test is that pro-Alan groups are going to have a walk on Saturday. And the General Secretary is saying, no, Mamon yet. And they are still deliberating. And eventually it may be, say, at the Nanya press conference, rather than say, a walk, no. And he's using the same format.
Yeah.
Say, wouldn't to make a year and I'm a kind, Mamo Susumon Conquer yet. Then he brings in the point about, say, we a party supporter. Now would the a year aspirant be deemed kwa ye be bia. Ukrabet me a fahwadi, but the aspirant may be held responsible for your actions. That is the test. How do you propose this Obakan say Saturday, do you know? Common ground.
Yeah. The point is that party no Owombra. What Chairman Wuntumi did, he broke guidelines or law. When there's no law, there's no sin. You know that. So the question is that as I operate was Saturday, no. So Obu Umbra Duza, it has to be stopped. What you can answer? Then mums a party constitutional guidelines, you know. Say no baby and you are the mazino Obu do that. And what they can do is to negotiate. There may be for one or two reasons, even though
the press conference now, you shoe at the press conference, you know, say, "Whoa, see a idea," and then you, the general secretary, no chairman, any other secretary, will make sure, say, going forward, ma obin kwaya sadi any beam.
So what I'm saying is that if more, you know, so Obumbra, if it contradicts the constitution of the party, the rules of the party are, and they have every right, then they don't negotiate, you stop it. What I'm saying is that if it doesn't contradict any law or any guideline, on the team, the people can go ahead to do it because that is they are not going against the constitution. That one, if you want them to stop, then you can sit down and negotiate with them. Or yankas inzun komo azi eyo ye nemum bibinti.
Late into the night, and he was still negotiating with them.
Yes, so I mean that's what I'm saying that more
and snapshots of information he's done so well. Say the pleadings, and having to more or less, what can I say, touch the hearts of the organizers. Say Munina, the book of my area is successful. Now attending up say party na pedo be at yedo pedo be ayedo pa. Yabe anything. Enti I didn't okay sign. The moon yanam some by press conference. Monko press conference. Enya den. Enti me warning. say going forward mama makwan and mama hwe han Emma obi nyecha. And as you said, so you are commending the General Secretary. In the first instance, the national coordinator, can't be no free say any papa no. What me jina wa responde. Say joke. When disregard the national officer and the national coordinator, national SARA coordinator come disregard it. The next day, or sign incorporate into a year ni statement. That may say Timubium, mon disregard it. You should see it as a joke. And then this wound to me issue come. In fact, what was sort of from Grana, they were on the verge of suspending wound to me. Yet pleadings never as okay, you're reprimanding. And in this instance, what share the track record on these two are? No, I can say, Munya, I'm somewhere press conference. Okay, go ahead and do your press conference. But Mamon Conquer say, Muti, aspirant to be ding, kwa, yet, program say, walk, no. Now, Muya, we are no business say or so growth for Quaquabia. Where does the party leadership stand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that if per the law or per the guidelines, one boom brothers are, it means they can do it. But from what you have said, say, or appeal to them, why you feel the answer the way. But there's another school of thought in there. The party no wako form kakra. So some of these activities, if so undermine the constitution or the leadership of the party, it should be allowed.
By energizing their supporters.
Yes, there's also that school of thought that CCR and the party in Zama Kufum Kakra.
Especially in that particular region.
Yes. So some of these things, or shape up enthusiasm. Oman Kofuba out. The CCR it's like rejuvenating the spirit of the party in the region. So it's also good to be considered. What I'm saying is that more because it is for me.
So you're working on a statement. We your press conference. Why a statement?
Yes, for
is
me,
the work more important than the press?
No, political activities. One or more effective than one that is physically seen outside. I mean,
and when you have about 500 persons standing behind leaders at a press conference, are you still not making a statement?
They are different.
Now you are saying it's a failed good attempt.
Yeah, failed a good attempt. Yeah, ADAKABRI. It's also an advice I gave to party delegates. Let me be honest. NPP party, we're a party of history. We've had a very beautiful history, as I said, even though we've had some ups and downs. But our history is beautiful. Our tradition is beautiful. NPP, we have a way of doing our things. And my argument in that article was that the decision of the national coordinator to come out openly to say what he said, was like a coup d'etat. Like a coup d'etat in quotes. Because there was a way of doing things. Not say a down be different against the way we are doing things now. It could be described as coup d'etat in quote. And see, my advice was that his proposal was that we should this time round, why the young man a Muslim president and a Christian vice president, as he suggested. My argument is that NPP since 92, we've had our way of electing our leaders and our way of selecting our vice presidential candidates. It's been fantastic. What Mpenyifo year 92 was that they considered, once again, that is where the banana issue comes in. Mpenyifo considered the nature of the political market in Ghana. And on the basis of that, now what kind of, okay, say young candidate. South will pick a Christian candidate. North will pick a Muslim candidate. On here just a Northerner. Since 92, you pick a Northerner who is a Muslim. Why they don't pick any Northerner? Because we are considering the religious advantage here. That is why we don't pick any Northerner, but we specifically pick a Muslim. Why? What is the wisdom in that? The wisdom is that we are in a country where one particular faith dominates. I mean, they will dominate about 72% of Ghanaians. We know are Christians. About 18% are Muslims. So why don't we merge these two, combine these two numbers? Yeah, phone call elections all the time. So 92. When Professor Dubois won, Okafa Alhaji Al-Hassan from the north.
Roland Al-Hassan.
Yes, from the north. Yako elections no. Ewa Ghana ha. You agree with me that 92 election was no elections at all. Only na MPP for one call parliament in Pono. Because after the presidential one now there we view no like election was so bad. They stole the election so badly that was one contest parliamentary. So 92 election was no election. So the formula yazukre you know oye Professor Dubois no onye oye eja yenra alasa no 1 year juma because the system was no good. 96 the Great Alliance nsi entu use them formula. The Great Alliance aka na obey. The election so 1 year. But the year 2000 President Kufuor saw wisdom in that formula, that strategy. Politics is a game of strategy. So that strategy, on the basis of that, into that President Kufuor only you know, Okwa North. One pick any North now, but I'll pick a Muslim from the North. Just to take advantage of this religious combination. Now, Yakro elections, you know, what happened was that President Kufuor won the elections with Alhaji Aliyu Muhammad and Kupon Fani Krensi. Then, 2004, President Kufuor repeated the same formula, and we won the elections again. So when Nanado won the Legon Congress, 2007, Nanado was to choose a candidate. Obinu proposed so many names. In fact, Obinu Pokede, why don't file and Chamatin or Oral and Chamatin because of the way OJ Muman Mokwe, you know. Nanado said, no, we have a way of doing our things. I will go to the North as President Kufuor did because he has won 2 terms out of that. So Nanado also went to the North and also picked somebody from the North. Now, this is what many people don't know. Nanado's original choice was Hajia Alima Mahama. Muslim from the North. The same strategy. But he was going for a woman. Intervention Sibi Obeminti Wambado. Another name was proposed, not to Wambado. Then eventually, they went in for Dr. Bawumia. Here is where I have a problem.
You have a challenge.
Sorry, I have a challenge. Dr. Bawumia became MPP by virtue of him being a Muslim. Because Nanado could have picked anyone. But because he was looking for a Muslim from the North as his running mate, that is why Dr. Bawumia became a member of MPP. Now, Dr. Bawumia became a member of MPP because of the formula, the strategy the party is using.
Since 1992. Yeah.
So, why there? The same strategy that through which he became a member of the party, through which the party has won 4 terms. Now we want to throw away this strategy and go for another strategy, which for me, no, only my party, no. Since I'm so engaged, there, ADAKABRI, I have a simple question. My more example, you call Accra conference. I'm a kid who baby in Kadako, baby. So I met about 4 gentlemen and some ladies. But when they were about 10, I started engaging them there. This year, the national chairman, one about 2 man, when they were all delegates. Maybe someone, general secretary, okay. Then I came to presidential. Then I asked them simple question. Then all of them were like, presidential, they will be a person who come be a person because this is I know in do here. So one of them spoke. Then he said, "Only the mom na joining there in Chewon former Dr. Bawumia, since in the pattern or Buzia Dankwa Dombo, into where do Dombo for one. It's okay, I'm okay. As someone I can, Mazato Madrin, Mazuko Fia Quajuno, into most women Bibia on phone coffee and on Quajuno. Let me be sent a question. Listen there, granted the day, a new competitor, work for monkey hunting competition. Monkey hunting competition.
Monkey
hunting competition.
Okopiado
wachi. Obi bia na obecha ado no dodo ne kase no. Obi declare no winner. Let me see, your competitor is using banana as a bait to get more monkeys. You have apple in your pocket. You have banana in your pocket. Which of them are you going to use? So that your competitor will not have advantage over you. One what you must answer, Mama.
Come in, tea.
What's in there? they will use banana.
Use banana.
And I was okay. If you agree with me that you use banana, which I also agree, then let me now bring it down to your understanding. Then I told them there. Okay, say, MPP, Ghana is you can't take away religion in politics. You can't take away ethnicity in politics. Ghana is dominated by the Christian faith. John Mahama is NDC candidate from the Christian faith of about over 70%. Now, John Mahama is the banana NDC is using to woo the Christian community. You have candidates on the other side, MPP candidates. Ora Lanchamaten, Ora Jakun, Ora Mahmoud Baumia, all of them. Ebieni Oya banana, Dr. Baumia Oya apple. If you use apple, no, Dr. Baumia, and then if you use banana, all of them said they will use banana. So they understood where I was coming from.
The logic.
Then they said, oh, then they told me, make us your disciples who will send this message because we can't afford to lose these elections. So my argument is that if MPP wants to change the strategy we have been using, strategy don't want meant 4 good terms of power, no. We are enjoying this power now because of the same strategy. Why do you abandon it? Okay, if you want to abandon it, I don't have a problem. My argument is that if you want to do experimentation in management, what is the BB for in a market? You want to introduce a new product in a market? You don't produce the product at the macro level and begin to sell. You have to produce it at the micro level.
Piloting. Yeah,
piloting, do experimentation. It's only when you have succeeded by a call a bien a basa na beka do sis jaze adi samete come yan kasa obeye since la on se de shase kase nyi de se shase kase na se eboka wa wo ka won osopa na mum se shase ketekete na se eboka wa ekono ketekete bi. So if you take for example that the argument I'm making in there, if we want to change and see that religion has a role to play in politics or people vote on the basis of religion, why don't we start with constituency primaries or constituency elections?
Baby, yeah, constituency level, no. Yeah, some predominantly Christians, sir.
Young pick Muslim candidates.
And some predominantly Muslims, sir.
Like for example, if you go to Tamale Central, let's pick a Christian candidate against NDC Muslim candidate.
Oh, okay.
Go to my constituency like Cape Coast. Yes, Cape Coast, where Christians are about 90% or more. Pick a Muslim candidate against NDC Christian candidate and see what will happen. If it happens that, people don't consider religion when they are voting, then you can replicate it at the top. Now, also, because let's say you lose one constituency.
One.
You can win another constituency too, offset it. But when you lose at the macro level, which is the presidential level, you are going to opposition. So why do you take this risk?
I didn't see what are two forcing a constituency.
Yes, a Jumakun in Yenesiam. In the last election, we chose a candidate, Dr. Rashid, very intelligent young man. Nice man, nice looking, very intelligent. When they chose the candidate, some of us said, he is a wrong candidate. Not because Anankasa man on your wrong go. He's a wrong candidate because of the market. A Jumakun political market or a wrong candidate. Some people argued, like the way people are doing now. People are doing now as if religion doesn't play a role in politics. Now, when you went to that elections, something happened. ADAKABRI, MPP people must listen to advice. If you don't want to lose the next election,
properly giving.
Properly giving advice. Ejumaku used to be MPP stronghold. Late Edumaze won Ejumaku for 3 consecutive terms. Atuforsen came to the scene for the first time. Dr. Atuforsen, 2008, when he came to the scene. He beat our candidate by 2,000 2,800, 2,900. Difference was many candidates in. Then Dr. Atifosin came again, 2012. Obitian again, this time with 3,200. Then 2016, Dr. Atifosin won again with a difference of 3,600. So when we chose Dr. Rashid, some of us complained that no, a mistake because of the nature of the market there. Hey, oya dam oya day he obutwin. I mean, candidate na pocket obutu Atifosin na banji. I mean, it was obvious. And NPP did so well. Campaign NPP yo Jumakono 1 year be that since 92.
And Panifo nyina buy.
Every big man in NPP was in Ejumakon because the agenda was to get Atifosin out. So everybody was there. Campaign, keep it, cry. And dumb. NDC realized things were happening and they were going to lose the elections. And they started playing the religious card in Ejumakon. This is the result that came as a result of what happened.
Whispering campaign.
Yes. You see, religious issue in politics or undercurrent. When you pay you, I know what can go assume. Hopefully, preacher was out for Mukur. A Casa was out for Mukur. Now, this is what happened. Look at the sequence 2,900, 2,900, 3,200, 3,600. In the last election, after the party has spent so much in the constituency, after every big man had gone to the constituency, Atifosin beat us with 11,000 difference. So how can you tell me that you have to joke with issue of ethnicity and religion in politics? I mean, we are not. If you are talking as a political strategist and you are considering you are at your strategic table and you are considering factors that can affect elections, how can you decide to take away religion and ethnicity? I mean, you're serious.
Back to experimentation at the micro level.
So
when the market is predominantly Muslims,
yes,
try and put a Christian there and see.
And see that, you see, that is why you are trying to see whether people really consider some of these issues. But
when the micro market is predominantly Christians, try and put a Muslim there and see.
And see.
When you have certain results, then you can begin to think about the macro level at the top.
That is the advice I'm giving to MPP delegates. That don't let's jump it. Because 2004 elections are going to be the most difficult elections to be fought in this country. It will be the most difficult elections. Already, some factors are fighting against MPP already. Let's face it. The economy is one. The 8-year turn is also another one. So, having all these things, MPP, within MPP now, so one so if you have all these things going to 2024 elections, let's say pick a candidate, you have to struggle. And let me tell you the meaning of struggle. Now, Dr. Baume is going to churches. Why is he going to churches? Because he recognizes that religion plays a role in politics.
Why has he brought religion to the forefront now?
Because
a whispering campaign.
Yes, because he recognizes that it plays a role in politics. And it is true, he's right. It plays everywhere in the world. It plays a role in politics. And listen to this. Why would you want to take somebody who have to go to church to maybe beg or to dance to be accepted? When you have somebody, if he sleeps the whole year, he will still be accepted by the church. No, this is commonsensical, isn't it?
Say it again.
Listen, why do you present the candidate? Because you know there's a community called Christian community. They are 72% of Ghana population. You can't win election without them. And I don't knew that is why he chose the Bachelor is the Lord. He was speaking to the Christian community. Because earlier on, because of all that be there and those things, Professor Thomas Professor Thomas had won the Christian community.
Over.
Asomdwe and those things. So Nonado had to rebrand. And see, the battle is a lot to speak to the Christian community. So, admittedly, no one can win election in Ghana without the Christian community. Because no group of people have come together and they are more than 70%, except the Christian community.
And when you attend churches, you should attempt to bring about biblical verses.
Of course.
And when you get it wrong?
Yes, of course. And people will talk about it. People like me will talk about it.
We are talking about it.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is that why do you have to get a candidate who have to go to the churches
to prove a point?
To prove a point there, one accept him. That is the apple issue. When you have a banana, because You have a candidate who, when he sleeps the whole year, even the whole 4 years, he will still be seen to be one of them, and they can easily vote for. So why do you want to climb a mountain when you can easily walk easily to the place? Why do you want to struggle?
Why do you want to attempt to teach the monkey how to eat apple?
Apple. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
The monkey no go see. Because me tell you.
It's ADAKABRI. The point I'm making in there, that you consider the fact that 2024 elections is going to be the most difficult elections. MPP ni biala. What's the difference? Last time I can't send me. Politics is a game of strategy. Which strategy are you going to the election with? Are you going with apple against banana in monkey sanctuary, or banana against banana in a monkey sanctuary, so that your opponent will not have advantage over you? It's a strategy. You can choose one. If you want to remain in power, you can choose one. If you want to go into position, you can choose one. I said politics is a game of numbers, because you have to, you see, because of a game of numbers in it, you have to get the dominant groups. Your target should be the dominant groups. The Christian community, the women in Ghana, the youth in Ghana, the Akan community. These are the dominant groups in Ghana, and politics is a game of numbers. So your target should be, so your strategy is
attract those four dominant
groups. So your candidate must appeal to these people without sweat. Are you getting it? Not the candidate. Also there, or you BB, or catching power, or brand sign, because 80% of Ghanaians want to treat language. In politics is a game of words. A game of words. If you can't speak easily, you can't connect easily. 2, it's a game of words. If you have said certain things in the past, you are saying certain things now, or you will say something tomorrow that can be used against you. You are finished. Let me give you a typical example.
Go ahead.
When we were in Legon, Nooks elections, Paul Adumotre of Metro TV fame, and Emmanuel J. Thompson elections or Legon campus na making. I was one of J. Thompson campaign managers. J. Thompson came to the election with nothing. If I knew posters, Paul Adumotre was using colored posters. Then J. Thompson posters, you know, photocopies. So Adumotre was winning the elections. In fact,
hands down.
It was hands down. Who chopped for Paul Adumotre? Now, at one of the meetings, you know, Adumotre came there on your ordinary student.
Oh, first class citizen.
Nah, he meant good, though, because Paul Adumotre was working at TV3 then.
At the time.
Inti, okay, on your ordinary student, the catch there, I know, oh, you're German or school. Inti, you're not busy nooks, car, now, baby, them. That was what he meant. He meant good, pa. Oh, some of us, you know, a Jedomson,
a boxing.
Yeah,
a backman.
And one year fair, as someone. Oh, person there, you're ordinary student too.
When you want in Nila
Pay. Oh, you're ordinary student. Oh, yes, ordinary student, they're also a Lego. And see, a former association of ordinary students.
Come on!
And that was the end of Adumotre.
Yes.
He lost the elections because of what he said. A game of words. If your candidate that you want to pick has said something good in the past, it is to your advantage.
I said something bad in the past,
it is to your disadvantage. Don't even try.
Something controversial in the past,
don't even try, because it will certainly come up. In those days, there was no WhatsApp and there was no Facebook. Yet, Paul Adumotre lost the election. Can you imagine if Oyenda? And I'm saying that you don't play with politics when issue of this nature come to the fore. Then I said,
final comment.
Final comment in your there. ADAKABRI. MPP delegates, I'm speaking to them again. They are the people who have not had anything in the party. One of our party in power, who would be MPP delegates, or your polling station executives. One only hope is for the party to win power again. Because in Penfosi, Sawana, enye kuna, nka wusu enyeja.
Oh, Sawana.
Enye kuna, nka wusu enyeja. Meaning, one of our sisters na wabe ni nyashia. Ebiana so before free busy party na nyuma ebinya bibi nti you don't lose hope, you keep on holding on to hope. Na mom who asuzi in a wasazen there, the party must retain power. Amanye bibi afim there was this agor na say offer yensa, we don't know when we are coming again.
Okay,
nti mama kan there say ikita asa yakọ ndo ha na say ikita apple Nikite Bananas are. Use the banana.
Use the banana. Come on, Ebo Backman. Originally from Oja, a former tutor of Ghana National College. In the banana market, in a monkey sanctuary. Lucky Mensa, and we are mature papa. The probably Dabaka Mama Mamudu. Na Abnamoe, the birthday, and Mrs. Abankro, Paulina Bankro, as was the birthday, and the two ladies. In fact, Mrs. Paulina Bankro brought forth Abna Frima Abankro Mara Michi Mafa. When you get me out, we are Michia Papa, as usual with Jinan and Super. The maestro, Manchester was Ajima, was Michiao. Tasso and I had an equity servicing the man. Olakaku Michael and Waba no Olakaku one DJ foreigner. Wamu Baya Bibia. You could see that you need 100.9 FM.